All right, we're going to pause for the national anthem, and then we'll be ready to play ball. All right, good afternoon, baseball fans. Welcome to our Friday afternoon, April 19th, Good Friday broadcast of 2019 of PSC Baseball. This also continues our Men's Panhandle Conference schedule here on Pirate Field, located on the campus of Pensacola State College. I'm Steve Jackson. I'll be your play-by-play announcer for tonight's game, along with Donnie Luker as my statistician. This broadcast is being aired on Hellcat Productions website in conjunction with PSC Sports Network. I'd like to thank Mr. Bill Hamilton and his staff here at Pensacola State College for allowing us to do the broadcast. This men's game today will feature Pensacola State College, the Pirates, and Gulf Coast State College, the Commodores. Pensacola State College comes into this game with an overall record of 20-28 and a conference record of 3-16, having lost their last game to Chipola College on last Monday night by a score of 11-6. The Pirates have a team batting average of .280 and have scored 246 runs. They've accounted for 33 home runs in 48 games. Leading the team in hitting is Angel Diaz at .321. He's closely followed by Logan Blackman at .320. Sean Ross leads the team in RBIs with 36, and Ryan Brewer adds 30. With both Ross and Brewer leading the team in home runs with 6 each, Lewis Colon and Diaz have also added a total of 4. Pitching duties have been a group of 9 pitchers, but most successful has been Tyson Ellis with a 4.2 record and a 1.74 ERA. He's primarily the closer for the team as well. Most of the starting assignments this year have been Chase Bryant, DJ Wilkinson, and Jake Sweeney. Gulf Coast State College comes into this game with an overall record of 23-18 and a conference record of 5-12. The Commodores have a team batting average of .255 and have scored 225 runs and hit 30 home runs in 41 games. In their last contest, they were defeated by Northwest Florida State by a score of 6-5 in a very closely contested game in which Northwest Florida State had to score 2 runs in the top of the ninth to secure the win. And we're about ready to get started. And leading off for Gulf Coast will be the shortstop. That will be Moffitt. On deck we'll have Reed Halfacre. He's the center fielder, number 2. He's from Pensacola. He is from Tate High School. And that first pitch is going to be fouled off to the right side. On the mound today for Pensacola State will be Sam Knowlton. He's a right-handed pitcher, freshman out of Warrior, Alabama. Big 6'7" guy, 225 on the mound today. Second pitch is in just outside for ball 1, so that evens the count at 1-1. We've just begun. There's nobody on, and our leadoff hitter up is Moffitt. Knowlton looks in, gets the sign, and the pitch. Swung on, that's going to be fouled off just to the left side. Our count is going to go now to 1-2 on the leadoff hitter for Gulf Coast. Stevie Moffitt been the leadoff hitter for Gulf Coast all year long. That pitch breaks a little high and inside. Count's going to even up at 2-2. Moffitt from DeLand, Florida. And that pitch is going to be in for strike 3 as Moffitt is caught looking for the first out of the ball game. Up now will be the center fielder. That's Reed Halfacre. Reed had an outstanding career at Tate High School, having just graduated last year. He's a freshman. Stands from the left side. Knowlton looks in, gets the sign. That pitch just off the plate for ball 1. On deck for Gulf Coast will be Brett Wisely. That pitch high and outside. Knowlton looks in, gets the sign. And that pitch is high as well. Count will now go to 3-0 on the batter, Halfacre. And the pitch, that's in for a strike. Count will go to 3-1 now. Coaches for the Pirates, that's Brian Llewellyn, with assistants Patrick Cottrell, Karsten Whitson, and Brett Gilmore. That's swung on. That's going to be hit to the right side, and that's going to get in for the first base hit of the ball game. And that'll be Reed Halfacre getting a base hit to the right side. And so Gulf Coast will have something going. And stepping in now will be Brett Wisely. Wisely leads the team in several categories. He's actually second in hitting for average at .346 as he comes into today's ballgame. Hits for the left side. That's a big swing and a miss for strike 1. Wisely also leads in RBI for the Commodores at 42, and he's had 9 home runs on the year. So Gulf Coast would like to break out first today against Pensacola State. That pitch outside by Knowlton. On deck for Gulf Coast will be Justin Kelly. He's the cleanup hitter for the Commodores. Throw over by Knowlton to first as Halfacre gets back. That pitch high and outside. Count 2-1. And the pitch by Knowlton. That's in for a strike. It's going to even the count at 2-2. We've got 1 out in the top of the first. Gulf Coast with a runner at first. That's Reed Halfacre. He got a base hit to right field. Knowlton trying to hold him close, and off goes Halfacre to second. That's going to be popped straight up. That's going to get out in the outfield the way that breeze is blowing and fighting it off. That was the left fielder for, that's Ross for Pensacola State, and that's going to go for out number 2. That wind's going to play havoc with any of those pop-ups out there today. Something that looks to be in the infield is going to carry out in the outfield today. A little bit opposite of what we had in here the other day when the wind was blowing in as PSC was playing Northwest Florida State. Stepping in now for Pensacola State, that's going to be Diaz. He's the first baseman for PSC. That'll be in for ball 1. Diaz is a freshman out of Green Acres, Florida. He's a 6 foot, 200-pound, plays first base primarily when he's out in the field, and he has DH'd over the course of the year. Pitch by Knowlton. And that's going to be inside. Counts 3-0. That pitch is outside. That's going to go for ball 4. And stepping in now will be number 13. That's Henshaw. He's the third baseman for Gulf Coast. Jordan Henshaw is a sophomore infielder from Huntsville, Alabama, from Buckhorn High School there in Huntsville. He's another left-handed hitter for Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast has a threat going here in the top of the first. Runners at first and second. There are 2 outs as our game has just begun. Pitch just off the plate. That's Knowlton on the mound. And the pitch that swung on, fouled off the left side. We're here on Pirate Field on the campus of Pensacola State. Knowlton with the wind and the pitch. And that swung on, that's going to be hit toward the left side. Looks to be playable, but playing havoc in the wind and making the catch. That's going to be Cuthbert for Pensacola State, and so they get out without any runs being scored by Gulf Coast. So we'll go to the bottom of the first inning. We have no score. Gulf Coast and Pensacola State will be coming to bat for the first time. This is Hellcat Productions bringing you the broadcast. We'll be back in just a moment.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State for half the cost of a university.
Make more money and build a successful career.
Don't let finances or your work schedule hold you back from improving your life.
Pensacola State is in the top 1% of affordable colleges in the nation, with scholarships and financial aid, low-cost tuition, and 6 convenient locations.
Pensacola State gives you access to the life you want, right now. See why thousands of students choose Pensacola campus life, programs, and incredible instructors.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State.
Start today at pensacolaState.edu.
Music has always been a big part of my life, but for many of the children in our community who are victims of abuse and neglect, music is a luxury they can't afford. Did you know that a guardian ad litem volunteer not only advocates for the children in the courtroom, but they also have the resources to help these children lead normal lives? And that means learning to play and enjoy music. When you become a guardian ad litem volunteer, the children whose lives you'll enrich will be forever changed for the better. Call the program and volunteer today. I am Don Snowden, and I'm for the child.
All right, we're back for the bottom of the first inning as Pensacola State will have their first opportunity. And leading off for Pensacola State will be the second baseman. That's Fausto Lopez. Lopez, number 1 on your scorecard. On deck will be Coker. He is the shortstop. He will be number 2. That's Luke Coker. Coker from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Fausto Lopez out of Orlando, Florida. First pitch in for a strike. That's fouled back. On the mound for Gulf Coast today, that is Peyton Knight. Knight, big right-handed pitcher for the Commodores. That goes for ball number 1. Knight, a sophomore pitcher. He's 2-2 on the year. He's got an ERA of 4.74. That pitch just outside. That's going to even the count at 2-2. And the pitch. That's just off the plate. That's going to bring the count full. And the payoff pitch is in for strike 3. Big swing and a miss by Lopez. So first batter faced by Knight goes for a strikeout. So it'll be Luke Coker stepping in. He's the shortstop. On deck, that's Ryan Brewer. Brewer, one of the top hitters for Pensacola State. That pitch goes for ball 1 inside on Coker. Coker, left-handed hitter. Off the right-hander, Knight. That's in for ball 2. We have 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. No score in our ball game. That pitch just outside. Counts now 3-0. That's in for a strike. Count now 3-1 on the batter, Coker. And that's a hit right back up the middle for a base hit. So the number 2 hitter on for PSC, Ryan Brewer, will be at the plate. That pitch in for a strike. Coker takes a lead at first. Knight holding him close. And that's driven right back up the middle. So 2 consecutive hits hit right back through the box. And stepping in now will be Diaz for Pensacola State. Runners at first and second, just 1 out.
Yeah, the only thing that I would rather have on this shot is in this shot is for it to be about 30 feet lower and that kicking the angle out. But I just don't know that you can do that.
And that's going to be fouled over to the right side. Looks to be playable. And that's going to be caught by the first baseman, Roberson.
Okay. We'll do that, and I'm off of it.
And that's going to be for out number 2. right, Diaz steps back in. Big hitter for Pensacola State. That pitch is a little bit high. Diaz, one of the leading RBI guys for Pensacola State.
Yeah, but it's looking good, even this sitting still. Yeah, it's
And the pitch, and that's going to be in for a strike. Count goes to 1-1. Knight looks in. And that's going to go just outside. Behind the plate today for Gulf Coast, that's Kyler Holtgren. Around the infield, we have Henshaw at third, Moffitt at short. That pitch fouled off. Wisely at second, Roberson at first. Knight looks in, gets the sign. And the pitch. And that's outside, and that's going to fill it up. 3-2. We'll have 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the first, still no score. Pensacola State trying to strike first. On deck is Sean Ross. He's the DH. And that's going to go for ball 4 and gets away, but batters just, they move up, so the bases will be loaded. Actually stepping in now, that's going to be Chase Bryant. Bryant, number 35 on your scorecard. On deck is Eusebio. That was Sean Ross that just took that walk. So Knight in a little jam now. Bases loaded. There's 2 outs. Bryant looking to get a 2-out hit here and putting Pensacola State up here in the first inning. That's going to be right back to the pitcher, Knight, and that's going to do it. So getting himself out of a jam as he puts that pitch just inside on the hands on Bryant, and Pensacola State is out of the inning. So Gulf Coast, the Commodores, will be back in here in the top of the second. We've got no score. This is Hellcat Productions bringing you the broadcast. We'll be back in just a moment.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State for half the cost of a university.
Make more money and build a successful career.
Don't let finances or your work schedule hold you back from improving your life.
Pensacola State is in the top 1% of affordable colleges in the nation, with scholarships and financial aid, low-cost tuition, and 6 convenient locations.
Pensacola State gives you access to the life you want right now. See why thousands of students choose Pensacola campus life, programs, and incredible instructors.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State.
Start today at pensacolaState.edu.
All right, we're back here in the top of the second inning. Gulf Coast with their second chance to get on the board here. Leading off will be Alex Lozado. He's the DH for Gulf Coast today. Still on the mound is Knowlton for Pensacola State. Knowlton, as we said, he's only a freshman right-handed pitcher out of Warrior, Alabama. That's a little inside. It's going to even the count at 1-1. And behind the plate is Logan Blackman. That's in for a strike. Count now 2-1. On the batter, Lozado. Just outside. We go to 3-1 now. Knowlton works pretty quickly on the mound. That's swung on, that's hit up in the air. It's going to be deep, deep, and I believe that's going to carry out of here. A breeze is going to help some of them, but that had a lot on it. As Lozado puts Gulf Coast on the scoreboard. Lozado with a couple of home runs this year. The big guy got under that one and got it up in the air, and it's going to carry out of here. We could see that a few times in this ball game. Stepping in now will be the first baseman. That's Brett Roberson. Pitch is a little low for ball one. Roberson out of Panama City, Florida. He's out of Mosley High School. About 3 players off this team are locally from Panama City, Mosley. Always known for having good baseball there. That pitch is low. Count's going to go to 2-0 now. Commodores break first today. And the pitch. That's going to be outside for ball 3. Got no outs in the top of the second as the leadoff home run by Lozado. Let's put the Commodores in the lead. It's ball 4. So we've got a base runner now for Gulf Coast as the number 8 hitter be the catcher, Kyler Holtgren. Holtgren finished his career at Pine Forest High School here in Pensacola. Started at Tate, moved over to Pine Forest, and had a good high school career here and done a good job this year as catcher for Pensacola, for Gulf Coast. On deck will be Bryson Braswell. Runner down at first, that's Roberson. He was on with a walk. That's in for a strike. Count it 2-1 now. That pitch is low. Count goes to 3-1 now. On it first, Roberson takes a lead. And that's going to go all the way to the screen. And, of course, that's ball 4 on Holtgren. So now we got 2 runners on for the Commodores, and we're going to have a timeout. A visit to the mound by Coach Lou Allen. Pensacola State plays all of its home games here at Pirate Field, here in the Pensacola campus of Pensacola State College. August 17th, 2000, Pirate Field received a new facelift to the stadium. New grandstands, including bench back seating, 2 rows of chair back seats, and the 3-room press box, which we're enjoying today, enables the public address announcers and official scores, radio and newspaper, and television staff to cover all the home games in comfort. Pirate Field also improved its dugouts, clubhouse, and concession stand, and the additional landscaping was added near the stadium in the spring of 2009. The dimensions of Pirate Field: 345 down the right and left field lines and 365 in center field. Appreciate you joining us today and watching us on Hellcat Productions here, and we're about back to the action again. Got runners on first and second. We got the number 9 hitter up. That's Bryson Braswell. He's the right fielder for the Commodores. On deck, we'll have the leadoff hitter. They'll be back around, Stevie Moffitt, that led off the game. That swung on, foul back into the screen. Commodores have 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors. The Pirates, no runs, 2 hits, and no errors. But Gulf Coast with 2 runners out, and that's going to be grounded to the shortstop. That's going to be Coker. He flips to second for the first out. Not quite in time at first as Lopez tries to turn the double play, but they do get the out. That's only the first out of the inning. So Gulf Coast will have runners at first and third and 1 out. And the leadoff hitter, Stevie Moffitt, at the plate. Got Reed Halfacre on deck. Halfacre, as we said, is out of Tate High School here in Pensacola. And the runner takes off, headed to second. The throwdown is not in time, so the Commodores will now have runners in scoring position at second and third. Great opportunity for Moffitt to get a couple of RBI here. On the mound again is Knowlton for Pensacola State. Pitch, and that's just over the top of the head. Almost sounded like it hit the bat, but looks like that's going to go for ball. Ball 2. Knowlton trying to get out of this mess here in the top of the second. That's driven to left field, and that's up in the air too, and that's going to get past the left fielder, Cuthbert, and that's going to get 2 runs in. Nice 2 RBI. Swing of the bat by Stevie Moffitt. So 2 more runs come across for the Commodores, and our score now 3-0. We're here in the top of the second. Up now will be Reed Halfacre. Halfacre got a nice base hit last time up to right field. Knowlton tried to halt the run scoring here, and that's a big swing and a miss by Halfacre. On deck will be Brett Wisely. Pitch is just outside by Knowlton. Again, that's Logan Blackman behind the plate for Pensacola State. Blackman also out of Tate High School. Another local product. And that's going to be low. Count's going to go to 2-1. He actually got 2 Tate High Aggies that's up at the plate right now. Halfacre at bat, Blackman behind the plate. They were teammates for 4 years at Tate High School. And the pitch, that's going to be just outside. That's going to run the count to 3-1. So Knowlton in a little bit of trouble. Only got 1 out and a runner out at second base. And the pitch by Knowlton, and that's going to get away from Blackman, but he keeps it just enough in front to where the runner, Moffitt, isn't able to advance from second, but got runners on first and second now with only 1 out. Beautiful day for baseball as the clouds have kind of broken now. Had some pretty nasty weather in here last night. As we said last game we were here, the wind was blowing in as Pensacola State played Northwest Florida, but today the breeze is blowing out, which is kind of in favor of the hitters. We've already seen one home run today. And that's going to be low and inside. That's going to hit the batter, so that's going to load the bases up as Wisely takes the hit by pitch. And that's going to bring in Justin Kelly now. Kelly is the cleanup hitter. So this is an opportunity. Pensacola State's going to be looking for the double play here to try to get out of this. Commodores trying to add to their total, already leading 3-0. That pitch is high. Justin Kelly, he's another Mosley High School product, locally there in Panama City. That pitch is in for a strike. It's going to even the count at 1-1. Elton looks in, gets the sign from Blackman. That pitch, that's going to be just inside. Count's going to go to 2-1. Pitch by Knowlton. That's in for a strike. Count evens up at 2-2. Still only one out. We're only in the bottom of the or top of the second. And that batter is going to be hit as well. So that's going to force in a run. Already having had one trip to the mound. Going to try to see if Knowlton can go a little bit. Score is already now 4-0. Bases remain loaded. Stepping in now is Jordan Henshaw. Henshaw, as we said, is out of Huntsville, Alabama from Buckhorn High School. And that's swung on. That's going to be popped up to the infield, playable by the second baseman Lopez for out number 2. Actually should have been called as an infield fly, but nevertheless, that's the second out of the inning. Bases will remain loaded, so that was a big out recorded by Knowlton. And right where we started the inning, Lozado is up, and he had the solo home run to start off the inning. Oh, the Commodores have batted around. Bases are still loaded. Pitch by Knowlton. That's going to be, pitch is going to be off the plate, and that's going to be actually recorded as a pass ball. And another runner is going to score, so that's going to bring the score to now 5-0. Runners will now be on second and third. And our count's going to be 1-0 on the batter, Lozado. Winding the pitch by Knowlton. That's going to be fouled into the screen. Evens the count at 1-1. Actually, that first pitch went as a strike, so it's actually 0-2 is the count now, as the umpire indicated. We do have 2 outs. That pitch high for ball 1. Count now 1-2. That's going to be fouled off, and that's going to even the count. Or actually, the count will remain 1-2. On deck, Brett Roberson, another of the Mosley High School products. They said a total of 3 players from Mosley on this team. And that pitch is going to get away. And that's going to go as a wild pitch on Knowlton. And our game now is 6-0 as the Commodores has broken it open here in the top of the second. Still have a runner at third base. Zotto with a 2-2 count. It's going to be fouled. The count will remain at 2-2. Knowlton looks in, and the pitch. And that's swung on foul to the left side. In the outfield for Pensacola State, in left, you have Cuthbert. In center, Ross. In right field, Eusebio. Across the infield, Brewer at third. Coker at short. Lopez at second. Diaz at first. Blackman behind the plate. Knowlton on the mound today for Pensacola State. Pitch by Knowlton. That's inside, and that's going to fill the count. 3-2. Still have Henshaw down at third. He was on by virtue of getting hit by a pitch. That's going to be popped straight up, but that's going to be out of play right in front of us here. Almost if it had a net, we might could have caught that one. Donnie could have done the old Harry Carey there and caught it with a fishnet. Count remains 3-2. Pitch by Knowlton and swung on and missed. That's going to go for out number 3. So Gulf Coast, the Commodores bat all the way around. Lozado actually batting twice in the inning and pick up 6 runs in the top of the second. So we go to the bottom of the second. Gulf Coast State, the Commodores lead 6-0. Pensacola State coming with their second at-bat. We're going to break for just a moment. This is Hellcat Productions. I'm Steve Jackson. We'll be back in just a moment.
As judges, Ross and I see the value of the Guardian Ad Litem program every day. The Guardian Ad Litem volunteers are advocates in the courtroom for these abused, abandoned, and neglected children. Their concern is for the child's best interest, and we value their opinion when determining a child's future.
As a trained volunteer, you can make a difference, a tremendous difference in a child's life. Please contact the Guardian Ad Litem program and become a voice for a child. I am Ross Goodman.
And I am Marcy Goodman.
And we are for the child.
All right, we're back for the bottom of the second. Pensacola State trying to get back in this ballgame, trailing 6-0. That first batter, that was Eusebio, Brian Eusebio, sophomore out of Trujillo Alto, Puerto Rico. He pops out to the second baseman. That's Brett Wisely, of course, again, the wind playing havoc with that ball. And he is able to make the catch for out 1. Up now, we have Logan Blackman. He's the catcher for Pensacola State. Pitch is just a little bit low, so our count will go to 1-1. On the mound for Gulf Coast is Knight. He's gone. That's Peyton Knight. He's a right-handed pitcher. He's out of Glenville, Georgia. And so we're going to have a hit batter there. That's going to be Blackman, headed down to first. And up now will be the number 9 hitter for Pensacola State. It's going to be number 28. That's Owen Cuthbert. He's a freshman out of Palm Coast, Florida. Now we got some people watching our ball game down in South Florida, as we've got a few players up here on this Pensacola State team out of the southern part and the middle of Florida. First pitch is in for strike one on the swing and a miss by Cuthbert. Big swing once again. He foul tips that one, but that's going to go for strike two. So our count 0-2. We've got one out. Got Blackman down at first after being hit by a pitch. Again, that's Knight on the mound. That's driven right at the shortstop. Nice play by Moffitt. Gets the ball back over to first, trying to double up Blackman, but just not quite in time. But nevertheless, 2 outs. And we're going to have the top of the order now. It's going to be Fabio Lopez. That pitch is in for a called strike on the outside part of the plate. Swung on, hit toward the left side, picked up by Moffitt, flips over to second, but the ball gets away. And Blackman will head into third. It's going to go an error on the throw by Moffitt on the fielder's choice opportunity. Oh, Pensacola State, who trails by 6 with 2 outs, have a rally going. And Luke Coker will step in. He's the shortstop for PSC. Pitch just off the plate. Have Blackman at third, Lopez at first, Coker at the plate. On deck, we have Ryan Brewer, the number 3 hitter for Pensacola State. That swung on, fouled off the left side. Count will go to 1-1. Coker hits from the left side. That swung on, fouled once again off the left field side. Count will remain 1-2. 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Pitch by Knight. And that's going to be in for strike 3 as that ball backed up into the strike zone and kind of fooled Coker, but it's going to go for out number 3, so no runs across for Pensacola State. Our line score after 2 complete innings is 6 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for Gulf Coast. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Pirates of Pensacola State. This is Hellcat Productions. We'll be back in just a moment with inning number 3.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State for half the cost of a university.
Make more money and build a successful career.
Don't let finances or your work schedule hold you back from improving your life.
Pensacola State is in the top 1% of affordable colleges in the nation, with scholarships and financial aid, low-cost tuition, and 6 convenient locations.
Pensacola State gives you access to the life you want right now. See why thousands of students choose Pensacola campus life, programs, and incredible instructors.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State.
Start today at pensacolaState.edu.
All right, we're back for the top of the third inning. Pensacola State had a little rally going there, but unable to get anything across, and Gulf Coast State leads 6-0 as we head to that top of the third. And up first will be Brett Roberson for the Commodores. Sun's kind of gone back in now, and a little cloudy out, but still a nice day for baseball, nice and cool. Going all the way for Pensacola State. The pitcher, that's number 26, Sam Knowlton, trying to get some action here. Hasn't started a lot of games, but of course he's a freshman pitcher. He'll be back next year for Pensacola State. Been unfortunate with, he just hits the batter. That's Roberson. He will take his base, and that's the third hit batter for Knowlton today. Kyler Holtgren will step in. He's the catcher for the Commodores. Roberson takes the lead at first. Pitch by Knowlton just outside. Knowlton checks the runner. That pitch low. Count will go to 2-0. Knowlton gets the sign. Here's the pitch. That's out of the zone for ball 3. Knowlton with a lot of pitches today. That's in for a strike. Count on Holtgren will be 3-1. That pitch is going to fill things up at 3-2 now. There's no outs. We're in the top of the third inning. On deck is Bryson Braswell. And that's swung on, and that's hit toward left field. It's going to be right at Cuthbert. And that's going to go for out number 1. Hit on the nose by Holtgren, but Cuthbert had him perfectly played to make the catch. Again, Owen Cuthbert, he's out of Palm Coast, Florida. One of the South Florida players here on this Pensacola State team. Braswell steps in, the number 9 hitter. That pitch off the plate by Knowlton. Down at first, Roberson. That pitch low. Count will go to 2-0. Knowlton looks in. And the pitch, that's just inside. Knowlton not having given up very many hits, too, on the day, but mixed in 3 hit batters and a couple of walks in there, and Commodores have 6 runs on the board. We're only in the top of the third. That pitch hits the outside corner. Count will go to 3-1. Knowlton looks in, gets the sign. Roberson takes his lead at first. Pitch by Knowlton. That's swung on. That's going to be grounded toward the third baseman, Brewer. And that's going to be a wide throw and gets away from the first baseman, Diaz. So the runners will move up to second and third on the error by Brewer. So the troubles by Pensacola State continue as two runners now in scoring position for the Commodores. There's one out. We're in the top of the third. That ball's grounded hard at the third baseman, and it looks like they've got Roberson in trouble, no man's land, and they're going to squeeze him out at home. So that's going to go for out number 2. That was kind of a bang-bang play as Roberson caught off a third, and it was hit right at the third baseman, Brewer. So he was able to atone for that throw and get the out at home and keep another run from coming in for the Commodores. So up now will be the leadoff hitter. That's Stevie Moffitt. As Braswell will get on with the fielder's choice. That pitch in for a strike on Moffitt. Sunshine breaking back through. Kind of cloudy in the outfield, but beautiful day. That pitch in for a strike. Count will go now to 0-2. Have 2 outs, 2 on. We're in the top of the third. Our score, Gulf Coast 6, Pensacola nothing. Knowlton trying to get out of this inning. The runner takes off for second, and that's going to go for strike 3 as Knowlton gets the strikeout on Stevie Moffitt to end it. So no runs across here in the top of the third. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Our score, Gulf Coast State, the Commodores 6, Pensacola State Pirates nothing. This is Hellcat Productions. I'm Steve Jackson. I'll be back in just a moment.
Never let anyone tell you that there is nothing you can do, that you can't change the world. Every day in our community, there are hundreds of children whose world can be changed by you. That's why I am volunteering to become a guardian ad litem, to become an advocate for these children and be their voice in court, and more importantly, make sure these children have a safe environment where they can grow and thrive. Join me. Contact the Guardian Ad Litem program and help change the world. I am Willie Kirkland Jr., and I am for the child.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State for half the cost of a university.
Make more money and build a successful career.
Don't let finances or your work.
All right, we're headed to the bottom of the third. Pensacola State trying to get back in this ball game. Still got Peyton Knight on the mound for the Commodores. He's got 6 runs on only 2 hits. That's going to be a ground ball down to the shortstop. That's Moffitt. Moffitt over to first, but not quite able to come up with it is Roberson on the low throw by Moffitt. So that's going to go as an E6 on the throw. So the leadoff batter, that's Ryan Brewer, gets on with an error. And in now is going to be Angel Diaz, the first baseman for the Pirates. On deck will be Sean Ross, the center fielder. Pitch fouled back. Count goes to 0-1 on the batter, Diaz. Brewer takes the lead at first. Pitch by Knight. It's in for a strike. It's Peyton Knight. And that's going to be in for strike 3. So that's going to be the first out of the inning on the strikeout. It's going to be the third strikeout by Peyton Knight. And in now will be Sean Ross. Ross, a sophomore out of El Cajun, California. Came a long way to play baseball. Left California to come to Florida. And that's swung on. That's hit right back up the middle. Nice catch and flip. And for the out, that's by the shortstop, Moffitt. He backhanded that one before it could get out in the outfield. Flips to the second baseman, Wisely. And they get out number 2 on the force out. Stole a hit there from Sean Ross. So Ross on now with a fielder's choice rather than a hit on the nice play. Knight with the pitch. That's just off the plate outside. Stepping in now, this is going to be the DH. It's Chad Bryant. That's in for a strike. It's going to even the count at 1-1. We have 2 outs, runner at first. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Pitch by Knight, swung on. That's going to be fouled down the right side. Giving chase is Roberson. Not quite able to make the play, but nice effort down that right field line. Season winding down for the Panhandle Conference as they try to determine who's going to be the representatives down in South Florida at the state tournament. Our count now 2-2, 2 outs. We're here in the bottom of the third. Runner takes off for second. Big swing and a miss by Bryant, and that's going to do it for the third inning. We'll be back with some of the stats here in just a few moments of the records of our Panhandle Conference. But this is Hellcat Productions bringing you the action. We'll be back with inning number 4 here in just a moment after a word from our sponsors.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State for half the cost of a university.
Make more money and build a successful career.
Don't let finances or your work schedule hold you back from improving your life.
Pensacola State is in the top 1% of affordable colleges in the nation, with scholarships and financial aid, low-cost tuition, and 6 convenient locations.
Pensacola State gives you access to the life you want, right now. See why thousands of students choose Pensacola campus life, programs, and incredible instructors.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State.
Start today at pensacolaState.edu.
All right, we're back for the top of the 4th inning. And it looks like we have a pitching change for Pensacola. It's going to be number 18. That's Jacob Reardon. Reardon's a freshman right-handed pitcher, 6'3", 195-pounder out of Marietta, Georgia. And so Knowlton had been the pitcher of record, not having had a bad day hit-wise. Only gave up 2 hits, but hit 3 batters, gave up 3 walks, and of course that did most of the damage as far in a couple of pass balls and wild pitches, and Pensacola State finds themselves trailing 6-0 as we go into the top of the fourth inning. And leading off will be the top hitter for Gulf Coast. That's Brett Wisely. He's the second baseman. So that's swung on foul down the right side for Wisely. Wisely came into this ball game with a .361 batting average. Hits from the left side. Swung on, and that's going to be another base hit to add to his total. Takes a big turn there at first, but not able to go anywhere. So there's another leadoff hitter on for the Commodores. Already leading 6-0. Stepping in now will be the cleanup hitter. That's Justin Kelly. That's going to be high and outside to Kelly. Kelly out of Panama City. All of them down there dealing with a lot of that wind damage and hurricane strength winds coming with Hurricane Michael back during the summer, and they've bounced back and getting things back in shape down there. Of course, it's going to take a long time to rebuild all through that area. They'll continue to need assistance as the days go by, but these guys are here today playing some baseball, and glad they try to get back to normal as soon as possible. Our count 1-0. And that's going to be high and outside for ball 2 on the batter, Kelly. On deck will be Jordan Henshaw, the number 5 hitter. That pitch is low and outside. Count's going to go to 3-0. Pitchers for the Pirates having trouble finding that strike zone today. That pitch in for a strike. Neither of these teams will be representing the Panhandle Conference as they move on in state play. That's fouled straight back. Our records right now for the Panhandle Conference, Northwest Florida State leads with a 16-3 record. They're 35-8 overall. Chipola College stands in second. They're 13-6 in conference, 26-15 overall. And the number 3 spot held by Tallahassee, 9-9 in conference, 28-17 overall. And Gulf Coast, they're 5-12 in conference, 23-18. And Pensacola State, 3-16. They're 20-28 overall. Young team for both of these. Have a lot of players returning for next year, which is good for both. Ball's grounded just foul, and the count will remain full, 3-2. Still have no outs here in the top of the fourth. Commodores having just picked up their 3rd hit of the ball game. Pitch by Reardon. And that's going to be high for ball 4. So Kelly will draw a walk. It's going to move Wisely down to second. Stepping in now will be Jordan Henshaw. Henshaw hits from the left side. Pitch by Reardon. Big swing and a miss by Henshaw. Get around the infield. Brewer at third. Coker at shortstop. Lopez at second. Diaz at first. Blackman behind the plate. And Reardon on the mound. Reardon looks in. That pitch is going to be just outside and high. So our count evens up at 1-1. Reardon looks in, and the pitch swung on and driven deep, but catchable, and heading back to first as both teams, or both runners, were getting ready to move up as that ball sounded really good coming off the bat. I think he hit it a little bit off the handle, but that's going to be the first out of the top of the fourth, and runner will move up. That will be Wisely from second to third as he tagged up. Kelly retreated back to first. The catch made by Eusebio out in right field. So stepping in now will be the designated hitter. Will be Lozado. Alex Lozado is out of Georgetown, Indiana. That's Floyd Central High School. Out of Georgetown. He's a freshman as well. Throw over to first just to try to keep the runner close. Zotto got everything started off in that second inning with a solo home run to lead off the inning, and the floodgates kind of took over after that, and a couple of hit batters, a couple of walks later, and 6 runs were put up in that top of the second by the Commodores. Home run kind of got things going. So Lozado will be on with the E4, and it's going to bring up Brett Roberson. As what looked like a potential double play ball ended up getting the runner in from third. As he moved up on the, he's going to get in too, and that ball's going to go for a base hit for Roberson, and that's going to put run number 8 in. It's going to be the 4th hit of the day for the Commodores. So up now will be Kyler Hultgren, the catcher for Gulf Coast. It's going to be high and inside by the pitcher Reardon. In the outfield, we have in left Cuthbert, center field Ross, Eusebio in right for Pensacola State. That pitch low. Count will go to 2-0. Swung on and fouled back. And that's going to go out of play. Count on Hultgren is 2-1, 1 out. Runners at first and second. That pitch is low. Count now goes to 3-1. On deck, Bryson Braswell. And that pitch is foul back as well. Reardon came on in relief here in the top of the 4th inning. Looks in, gets the sign. Swung on and missed by Holtgren for the strikeout. Now to go for out number 2. So runners remain at first and second. We have 2 outs. Reardon with the pitch. It's going to be a little high. Bryson Braswell is up. That's in for a strike. Braswell out of Fuquay Varina up in North Carolina. Right on the coast of North Carolina. Swung on, and that's foul back. Count will go to 1-2. Reardon trying to get out of this inning, having given up 2 runs. Steps off the mound. Now back, looks in, gets the sign. And the pitch. And that's outside. Got Lozado down at second, Roberson over at first. Braswell at the plate. Stevie Moffitt on deck, top of the order. That swung on. That's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Coker throws to third for the force out, and play was tailor-made for him. He was headed in that direction. That's going to go for out number 3. So Pensacola State gets out of the inning with any more damage, but they gave up 2 more runs. So our score now, after 3.5, Gulf Coast State, the Commodores 8, Pensacola State, the Pirates nothing. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th here in just a moment. This is Hellcat Productions. We'll be back.
One of the most important things we can do as a community is to ensure that our most vulnerable are protected. The children in the Guardian Ad Litem program are some of the most at risk because they have been removed from an abusive environment. The court will do its best to make sure these children are safe. With a Guardian Ad Litem volunteer involved, their chances for success are significantly increased. Please consider being a Guardian Ad Litem volunteer and improve the lives of the children in our county. I'm Chip Simmons, and I am for the child.
Can anything be better in this moment?
Whoa, it doesn't get any better than this.
All right, we're back for the bottom of the 4th inning. Pensacola State's going to try to get back in this ball game. They're trailing 8-0 as they head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Leading off for Pensacola State will be number 15, 16. That is Eusebio, Brian Eusebio. On deck will be Logan Blackman, the catcher. Still on the mound for Gulf Coast and pitched all the way is Peyton Knight. And swung on and fouled down the left side. That's going to go for a strike. Count 2-1 on the batter. Count now 2-2. And swung on. That's going to be chopped right back to the pitcher. Knight throws over to first and digging it out at first base. That's Roberson for out number 1. As Brett Roberson picks that ball up. Roberson, a freshman, playing over at first base today. Stepping in now will be the catcher, Logan Blackman. Swung on and fouled away. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. And the pitch by Knight. That's driven right back up the middle. That's going to be a base hit for Blackman. He stayed right on that pitch to drive it right back up through the box. So with one out, Pensacola State has a runner on at first. Stepping in now will be the number 9 hitter. It's number 28, that's Owen Cuthbert. Pitch by Knight is outside. It's going to go for ball 2. Blackman takes his lead at first. Knight with a pitch, and that's going to be just outside. Count goes to 3-0. That's in for a strike. Count 3-1. Swung on, a big swing and a miss by Cuthbert. So the count now full with the runner Blackman at first, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 4th. And the pitch by Knight as Blackman takes off on the hit and run. And the pitch is fouled off, so we'll do it all over again. Blackman retreats to first. Count 3-2, 1 out. And swung on, and that's going to be hit down the right field line for a base hit. Blackman's on to third. And so a nice bit of English on that hit by Cuthbert. Hits it over the first baseman, bounces over his head, and Pensacola State has runners at first and third, only 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. At the top of the order coming in now, it's going to be Fausto Lopez. He's a sophomore second baseman out of Orlando, Florida. Pitch by Knight. That's in for a strike. Good fastball. He kept low. Down in the zone. Pitch just off the plate for ball 1. evens the count at 1-1. And there's the pitch by Knight. That's going to be fouled off the left side, picked up by the catcher. So our count goes to 1-2. Knight from the stretch. And that's fouled off once again to the left. Have runners at first and third. Count remains at 1-2. That pitch going to be inside to Lopez. Evens the count at 2-2. Knight with the windup and the pitch. Swung on and missed, and even though it's dropped by the catcher Holtgren, he's still out number 2 there. Calls the runner down at first. So we now have runners at first and third, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Stepping in will be the number 2 hitter. It'll be Luke Coker, the shortstop. Another left-handed hitter for the Pirates. That's going to be driven into right field, and that's going to get the first run in by Pensacola State as Blackman crosses the plate. Our score now 8-1 as Pensacola picks up their 5th hit of the ball game. And that'll be 2 hits for Coker. Up now will be the number 3 hitter. That's Ryan Brewer, the third baseman. Runners at first and second. And that breaking pitch in for a strike. Pirates trying to get a 2-out rally going. Pitch by Knight. Another breaking pitch in for a strike. So quickly 0-2. On the hitter, Brewer. And the pitch by Knight. That breaking pitch just off the plate outside. Count will go to 1-2. Pitch by Knight. Big swing and a miss for strike 3, and down goes Brewer, and that's going to be the 5th strikeout for Peyton Knight. Well, we're going to move to the top of the 5th inning. Pensacola does pick up 1 run, so our line score after 4, 8 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Commodores, 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error for the Pirates. This is Hellcat Productions. I'm Steve Jackson. We'll be back in just a moment.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State for half the cost of a university.
Make more money and build a successful career.
Don't let finances or your work schedule hold you back from improving your life.
Pensacola State is in the top 1% of affordable colleges in the nation, with scholarships and financial aid, low-cost tuition, and 6 convenient locations.
Pensacola State gives you access to the life you want right now. See why thousands of students choose Pensacola campus life, programs, and incredible instructors.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State.
Start today at pensacolaState.edu.
All right, we're back for the top of the 5th inning. We're going to have the top of the order up for Gulf Coast here in the top of the 5th. We're going to have Stevie Moffitt that'll be leading off. He's the shortstop. Got Reardon with his second inning working. And the pitch is high for ball one. Pensacola would like to start an inning off by not getting that leadoff batter on for the Commodores. Well, that pitch inside for ball two. On deck is Reed Halfacre, the center fielder. Pitch high for ball three, so not a good start to the inning for the Pirates. Want to keep this runner off. And that's going to go for ball four, so Moffitt starts off with a leadoff walk. Pensacola just picked up a run. Was hoping to have a 1-2-3 inning to get back into bat, but leadoff batter is on, and up now Reed Halfacre, the number 2 hitter. One of the top hitters on the team for Gulf Coast. And, of course, standing on deck is Brett Wisely. Also one of the top 2 hitters on the team and leads in most of the categories of home runs as well as RBI. And struggling to find the plate now is Reardon, and Blackman going to take a moment and go out there and speak to his pitcher and try to settle him down. Take an opportunity to thank the staff here at Pensacola State for allowing Hellcat Productions to bring these broadcasts to you here on our website. And the pitch by Reardon, that's in for a strike. Count will run to 2-1 now. Leadoff batter Moffitt on it first. That pitch high. Count now 3-1. Pitch by Reardon, that's going to be popped up to the infield. And calling off everyone is the second baseman Lopez, and he will take it for out number 1. That wind out today is really playing havoc with those pop-ups, but the pitch started off to the right side and blew back in the field to Lopez, and he makes the play for out number 1. So stepping in now will be Brett Wisely. Wisely, left-handed hitter. That's in for strike 1. Catches the outside part of the plate on the off-speed. Wisely picked up a nice hit last time up. Reardon checks the runner and the pitch. Big swing and a miss by Wisely. So Reardon gets ahead of the number 3 hitter, Wisely, 0-2. Still has the runner Moffitt down at first. A lot of speed there. And the pitch. And that's going to get away from the catcher Blackman on the wild pitch by Reardon. So Moffitt will move down to second. Blackman doing a little landscaping work in front of the plate. Wisely with a 1-2 count. Pitch by Reardon. Swung on, and that's going to be, it's going to go for strike 3. And around third base and scoring from second on the wild pitch. And the strikeout will be Moffitt, as Wisely swung and missed for strike 3, but the ball got away on the wild pitch. Blackman unable to keep it in front of him, and so Wisely gets on base, and he's down at second now. It's going to go for run number 9. The Commodores still only have 4 hits in this ball game, but 9 runs. And the pitch again by Reardon is swung on, and that's popped straight up, but looks like that's going to get out of play. And it's going to go for strike 1. There's only 1 out in the top of the 5th. As Kelly steps back in. It's Justin Kelly at the plate. Kelly, the number 4 hitter for the Commodores. Also the left fielder. Reardon looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch, and that's swung on, and that's going to be driven right down the third baseline, but for foul as it just goes out of play. A nice drive by Kelly. Looked like it might stay fair. Just out of play by about a foot, so he'll step back in with a 1-2 count. Reardon looks in, gets the sign. Here's the pitch. And that swung on. That'll be fouled. So the count will remain 1-2. So we'll redo the 1-2. Here's Reardon with the windup. And that's going to be low. Even the count at 2-2. I'd like to let you know we'll be back once again next Friday afternoon, as will be our last broadcast of this baseball season, as Pensacola State will be entertaining Tallahassee in a 3 o'clock contest here at Pirate Field. Reardon trying to get the out here. 2-2 count. We only got 1 out. And that's going to go inside, and count will now go full. As the Commodores still have a runner down at second. That's Wisely. On deck, Jordan Henshaw, the number 5 hitter. That swung on, driven down the left field side, and once again, Kelly just ahead of that breaking pitch. If that ball stays in play, probably a double down the line. Reardon trying to keep that pitch down as we'll redo the 3-2 count. And that pitch is going to go for ball 4. So Kelly will pick up the walk. Jordan Henshaw will step in. Again, Henshaw out of Huntsville, Alabama. And it's like we're taking a walk to the mound, and looks like we're going to have a change in pitcher, so we're going to take a break and get all the numbers of the changes here. And this is Hellcat Productions. We're going to break. We'll be back in just a moment. And so we'll be there in just a moment. We'll be back.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State for half the cost of a university.
Make more money and build a successful career.
Don't let finances or your work schedule hold you back from improving your life.
Pensacola State is in the top 1% of affordable colleges in the nation, with scholarships and financial aid, low-cost tuition, and 6 convenient locations.
Pensacola State gives you access to the life you want right now. See why thousands of students choose Pensacola campus life, programs, and incredible instructors.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State.
Start today at pensacolaState.edu.
All right, we're back. Our change in pitching is going to be Dominic Miller. He's a left-handed pitcher out of Escambia High School here in Pensacola. He pitched a little bit in that Northwest Florida State game, and he'll be coming out again. And he's going to be facing, it's going to be Henshaw, number 13, and he's a switch hitter as he's now coming from the right side. But as we said, he's out of Huntsville, Alabama. And first 2 pitches are balls. So anyway, Pensacola State trying to keep from any more damage happening. There is a runner out at second. That's Brett Wisely. And the pitcher is Miller, and that's in for a strike. So count now 2-1. Again, you don't see a lot of switch hitters these days, but strong back up the middle. It's going to be right to the shortstop, Coker, to Lopez, on over to first for the double play, and that's how you get them out as Miller comes right in, forces the double play to get the 2 outs, and we're now headed to the bottom of the 5th. Our score, Gulf Coast State 9, Pensacola State 1. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th inning in just a moment. This is Hellcat Productions. We'll be back.
Music has always been a big part of my life, but for many of the children in our community who are victims of abuse and neglect, music is a luxury they can't afford. Did you know that a guardian ad litem volunteer not only advocates for the children in the courtroom, but they also have the resources to help these children lead normal lives? And that means learning to play and enjoy music. When you become a guardian ad litem volunteer, the children whose lives you'll enrich will be forever changed for the better. Call the program and volunteer today. I am Don Snowden, and I'm for the child.
All right, we're back for the bottom of the 5th inning. Pensacola State able to hold off any more damage as they did give up 1 run there in the 5th, and they trail 9-1 as Dominic Miller was able to come in and coax the double play to get out of the inning, but Pensacola State needs to get something going, and up first will be the number 4 hitter. That's going to be Angel Diaz. He's the first baseman for Pensacola State. We were talking earlier about how Northwest Florida State and Chipola pretty much are the 2 representatives coming out of the Panhandle Conference. There's a lot closer races across the state, and we'll go over those in just a moment as that goes for ball 1, as Peyton Knight has gone the entire way for the Commodores, and he has a 1-1 count on the batter Diaz. Down in the Florida Conference, Mid-Florida, that's College of Central Florida has pretty much led that conference throughout the season. That pitch goes for ball 2. They have a 15-6 conference record, followed closely by Seminole State College and Santa Fe. And, of course, you know, we like to watch who that representative comes out of these other areas that's going to be facing our teams, because when it comes down to it, Panhandle Conference all root for each other, and we'd like to see our representative go to nationals once again. That pitch high, that's going to bring the count to full, 3-2. And that is going to go for a base hit, as that just got over the outstretched arms of Henshaw down at third. So Diaz will start with a base hit and leadoff man on in the bottom of the 5th. And stepping in now is going to be Sean Ross. He's the center fielder for the Pirates. In the Southern Conference, we got Miami-Dade College leading with 11-7 conference record, and Eastern Florida State following closely at 10-8. And so we will see how those go as the season is. And you know, as we said, these are 2 young teams that are playing here today, so we expect to hear a lot out of them again next year. That's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. And really, that Moffitt had no play but to first, as the speedy Diaz hustled down to second base. And Pensacola State's going to have the first 2 batters on here in the bottom of the 5th with no outs. And they're going to have their designated hitter stepping in. It's going to be Chad Bryant, number 35, and swing of the bat, and he could cut this lead to almost half. As we said, Peyton Knight has gone the entire distance thus far, and that pitch just off the plate and outside. Pitch by Knight. And that's low. Count now 2-0. Pitch is high, out of the strike zone. So now 3-0. Got no outs. Pensacola with the first 2 batters on. That's low and outside. That's going to go for ball 4. So bases will be loaded now for Brian Eusebio, the right fielder. And we're going to have a trip to the mound by Coach Candler from Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast kind of cruised through this game, still only having gotten 4 hits, and it's a quick trip to the mound there just to make sure that he's okay. But even with only 4 hits, they've plated 9 runs. They've put together a mix of some walks and hit batters and able to take an 8-run lead. But Pensacola State threatening here with the bases loaded and no outs. Brian Eusebio steps in. That pitch in for a strike. Off-speed pitch just on the outer part of the plate. Knight with the pitch. That swung on. That's going to be hit out in the gap in right center, but the right fielder, that's Braswell, will move over, make the catch, and hustling into third and now moving up to second is the two base runners, but a runner will come across the plate. That's Diaz that scored. Ross went into third, Bryant into second. So a sacrifice fly by Eusebio will get in the second run for the Pirates, and they'll still have two runners in scoring position with Logan Blackman, who got a base hit right back up the middle last time he was up. Love to get that same type of hit because it would probably plate two runs. Swung on and driven deep to center field and going all the way back up against the wall. And that's Halfacre, but he's unable to make the catch. So two runs will score. So nice drive to the deepest part of the park by Logan Blackman. It's 365 to center field. And nice drive, and Pensacola State getting themselves back into this ball game, now only trailing 9-4, as that's the 8th hit of the game for the Pirates. That's the second hit by Blackman. So he was hit by a pitch and had two other base hits today. So good job out of the number 8 hole. That pitch in for a strike. That's going to be Owen Cuthbert up now for Pensacola State. A lot of scoring done here at the bottom part of the lineup for Pensacola. Big swing and a miss by Cuthbert. That's going to go for strike 2. On deck will be Lopez. And swing and a miss for strike 3. So Cuthbert goes down on 3 pitches after the big blast by Blackman. So up now will be Fausto Lopez, sophomore out of Orlando. He's the leadoff hitter for the Pirates, trying to get that run in from third. And the pitch by Knight just inside for ball 1. Swung on, and that's popped straight back. That's going to be over the screen. Count going to go to 1-1. Still 2 outs. Runner at third. Pitch by Knight outside. Count now 2-1. Pitch by Knight swung on, and that's going to even the count at 2-2 on the pitch. Fouled back over the screen to the right side. So Lopez will step back in. Runner still at third. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And a swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. So that's going to go for out number 3. So we're through 5 innings now. We'll be headed to the top of the 6th with Gulf Coast coming in to bat. The Pirates have added a few runs now, and Commodores lead 9-4 over Pensacola. We'll be back with the top of the 6th in just a moment. This is Hellcat Productions. We'll be back.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State for half the cost of a university.
Make more money and build a successful career.
Don't let finances or your work schedule hold you back from improving your life.
Pensacola State is in the top 1% of affordable colleges in the nation, with scholarships and financial aid, low-cost tuition, and 6 convenient locations.
Pensacola State gives you access to the life you want. right now. See why thousands of students choose Pensacola campus life, programs, and incredible instructors.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State.
Start today at pensacolaState.edu.
All right, we're back for the top of the 6th inning. We're here at Pirate Field on the campus of Pensacola State College. Our baseball game today between the Pensacola State Pirates and the Gulf Coast Commodores. We have a pitching change. In now will be Logan Smith for the Pirates. He's out of Milton, Florida, having pitched at Milton High School. Pensacola picked up 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning, and they now trail 9-4 to Gulf Coast State. Our line score reads 9 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Commodores, 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Pirates. And stepping in first will be the number 6 hitter. That'll be Alex Lozado. He's the designated hitter for the Commodores. And that pitch goes in for a strike. Our count's going to even up at 1-1. Swung on, and that's hit out toward the right side, and that's going to be picked up by Diaz on the little flare. So he'll make the catch for out number 1. So Logan Smith's coming in trying to hold this deficit down to just 5 and hoping that Pensacola can come back in and knock a few more off of it. In now is going to be the first baseman. It's going to be Roberson. Brett Roberson is number 9 on their program. Pitch by Smith. That is just in for a strike on the swing on the breaking ball. Count 1-1. That breaking pitch hits the corner for strike 2. So Smith works very quickly. 1-2 count on the batter. Pitch just low to Roberson. And that's in for a looking strike there as Roberson is called for out number 2. So quickly, 2 outs by Logan Smith, trying to get his team back into bat. And Kyler Hultgren will be up. He's the catcher for the Commodores. Pitch just low and outside. Already 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. That swung on, that's popped up. Going to be out of play. Count is going to be 1-1. That's outside. Count runs to 2-1. Pitch by Smith. It's going to be just inside off the plate. Our count now goes to 3-1. There's the pitch by Smith. And that breaking pitch is in for a strike, and that's going to fill things up. 3-2 to the batter, Hultgren. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung and missed by Hultgren, and they're going to throw down to first to get the out. And what a quick inning there by Logan Smith. So we're through 5.5 innings. We head to the bottom of the sixth. Pensacola State headed up to get some more runs, and our score 9-4. Gulf Coast State leads over Pensacola State. This is Hellcat Productions. We'll be back in just a moment.
As judges, Ross and I see the value of the guardian ad litem program every day. The guardian ad litem volunteers are advocates in the courtroom for these abused, abandoned, and neglected children. Their concern is for the child's best interest, and we value their opinion when determining a child's future.
As a trained volunteer, you can make a difference, a tremendous difference in a child's life. Please contact the Guardian Ad Litem program and become a voice for a child. I am Ross Goodman.
And I am Marcy Goodman.
And we are for the child.
All right, we're back in the bottom of the sixth inning. Up to bat, we have Luke Coker. He's quickly in a hole, 0-2 to the pitcher, Peyton Knight, who has gone all the way for the Commodores. That pitch is low. That's going to run the count to 1-2. Got no outs in the bottom of the sixth. This Pensacola trying to tack on a couple of more runs to cut into the deficit. That pitch outside is going to even the count at 2-2. Our score 9-4. That swung on. That's going to be hit toward the second baseman Wisely, who is playing just on the edge of the grass. Makes a nice play on the bounce and gets it over to the first baseman Roberson for out number one. So we'll now have Ryan Brewer step in. Brewer, the number 3 hitter. Brewer, one of the top hitters for average over the course of this season. That pitch by Knight is in for a strike to start off the count on Ryan Brewer. On deck, Angel Diaz. That breaking pitch is in for a strike. So Knight trying to make quick order of this top part of the lineup. And that swung on and missed, and got to make the play down to first. That's a total of 9 strikeouts now by Peyton Knight. So the first 2 men are down here in the bottom of the sixth. And stepping in now will be the number 4 hitter. That's Angel Diaz. This was an inning the Pirates were hoping to get something started after a nice pitched inning by Logan Smith. The big blow by Blackman in that last inning to knock in the 2 other runs to tally 3 in that inning. Cut the deficit to 5, but unable to do anything this inning off of Knight. First pitch is a ball, so our count will be 1-0. That's in for a strike. Count will even up at 1-1. Diaz had a good season for the Pirates. He watches that pitch go in for strike 2. Hits the outside corner. Knight with the pitch. Breaking pitch is going to be grounded down to the shortstop. Moffitt, long throw over, and a nice pickup by the first baseman, Roberson, for out number 3. So quick inning by Gulf Coast, and they'll be in here in the bottom of the 6th inning, or top of the 7th. We're now through 6. This is Hellcat Productions. We'll be back with the 7th in just a moment.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State for half the cost of a university.
Make more money and build a successful career.
Don't let finances or your work schedule hold you back from improving your life.
Pensacola State is in the top 1% of affordable colleges in the nation, with scholarships and financial aid, low-cost tuition, and 6 convenient locations.
Pensacola State gives you access to the life you want right now. See why thousands of students choose Pensacola campus life, programs, and incredible instructors.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State.
Start today at pensacolaState.edu.
All right, we move to the top of the 7th inning. Gulf Coast State, having done most of their scoring back in the 2nd inning, as they tacked up 6 runs in that inning, picked up 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, for a total of 9. And Pensacola picked up 1 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th for their 4, and they trail 9-4 as we move to the top of the 7th inning. Leading off for Gulf Coast State will be the number 9 hitter, will be the right fielder, Bryson Braswell. He'll be followed by the leadoff hitter, Stevie Moffitt, who is the shortstop. On the mound once again, Logan Smith had a very good inning coming in and shutting down the batting order for Gulf Coast. He'd like to do that once again here, try to give his team another opportunity to cut into the lead. That pitch goes for ball 1 as the first pitch on Braswell. That pitch a little inside for ball 2. And it's fouled back. It's going to bring the count to 2-1. There's no outs as we've just started the top of the 7th. Pitch by Smith. That breaking pitch out of the strike zone for ball 3. Smith would like to keep this leadoff batter off the base. And a big swing and a miss by Braswell. Count will go full. Clouds have pretty much broken now, and nice skies. A little bit of scattered clouds, but no rain clouds left now as they've all passed by. That foul tip back is just underneath the glove of Blackman. Kind of hit off of him a little bit and give him a chance to kind of walk things off. It's a tough position back there to play catcher. You catch a lot of foul tips, even with all that gear that you wear. Sometimes it just catches you in the wrong spot. So we'll redo the 3-2 count. Smith steps back on the mound. And the pitch is going to go low for ball 4. So the leadoff batter, Braswell, will be on here in the top of the 7th. Up now will be the number 1 hitter. That'll be Stevie Moffitt. He's the shortstop. Braswell takes the lead at first. And the pitch, and that's swung on, and that's going to be driven deep to center field, back, and right up against the fence, but unable to make the play is Ross. Of course, Braswell had to hold up to make sure that that play was not caught, but he ends up at third. Moffitt at second, so with no outs here in the top of the seventh, Gulf Coast will have something going as they lead by 5. And that was tallied as a hit there, so Gulf Coast picks up their 5th hit of the ball game. Runners in scoring position. Up now will be the center fielder, Reed Halfacre, for the Commodores. Smith into his wind. And breaking pitch will go high for ball 1. Got no outs in the top of the 7th. The pitch by Smith. That's popped up just to the infield. Playable by Coker at shortstop, and he makes the play for out number 1. So nice play to get the number 2 hitter, Halfacre. But up now will be one of the other top 2 hitters for the Commodores. That's Brett Wisely. Wisely's had a pretty good game himself. He's got 2 RBI sitting out there. He would love to drive in. As he faces the right-hander Smith. That's in for a strike on the breaking pitch. Smith looks in, gets the sign. And the pitch. Another breaking pitch. That's going to go high and outside for ball 1. Evens the count at 1-1. That pitch goes high as well. Count now 2-1 on the batter Wisely. First base is open. Pensacola State trying to get outs. Pitch by Smith. That's going to be inside. Count's going to now go 3-1. Smith, the big right-hander. And the pitch. And that's swung on. That's going to be fouled, and that's going to fill the count up at 3-2. Wisely looks down to his base coach. Trying to get a 2 RBI hit here. Smith trying to get the out. Would love to get the strikeout here. Pitch by Smith. Breaking pitch as in for strike 3. I think Wisely thought that he had the walk, but that catches the outside corner. So that's going to be the second out of the inning. Runners will remain at second and third. So after moving those runners up, we've had 2 consecutive outs on the strikeout and the pop out. So now they're going to talk and may consider possibly walking Kelly to load the bases to get the force out, but Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here, so we're going to take a break in the action while we get these changes noted. This is Hellcat Productions. We'll be back in just a moment here in the top of the 7th.
Never let anyone tell you that there is nothing you can do, that you can't change the world. Every day in our community, there are hundreds of children whose world can be changed by you. That's why I am volunteering to become a guardian ad litem, to become an advocate for these children and be their voice in court, and more importantly, make sure these children have a safe environment where they can grow and thrive. Join me. Contact the Guardian Ad Litem program and help change the world. I am Willie Kirkland Jr., and I am for the child.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State for half the cost of a university.
Make more money and build a successful career.
Don't let finances or your work schedule hold you back from improving your life.
Pensacola State is in the top 1% of affordable colleges in the nation, with scholarships and financial aid, low-cost tuition, and 6 convenient locations.
Pensacola State gives you access to the life you want right now. See why thousands of students choose Pensacola campus life, programs, and incredible instructors.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State.
Start today at pensacolaState.edu.
All right, we have a change at pitcher. Moving in will be Ryan Brewer, who's been the third baseman for Pensacola State. And coming in at third base will be number 10. That's Jack Kolomovic. Kolomovic out of Simpsonville, South Carolina. He's a freshman, right-handed throwing, left-handed hitting utility player that will come in and work some at third base now. So big out here, need to be recorded by Pensacola State. So they bring in Brewer, who has done a lot of closing this year for the Pirates. He pitches with men on second and third, and that first pitch goes in for a strike. And so up to bat now will be Kelly. He's the number 4 hitter. Number 23 on your program. He's the left fielder for the Commodores. That's swung on, and quickly 2 strikes on the batter, Kelly, and Brewer going to try to go for the strikeout here. Runners at second and third, as they were in that position with no outs, and now with 2 outs, 2 strikes on the batter, Pensacola State trying to get this third out. Here's the pitch by Brewer. Big swing and a miss on the high fastball, and that's going to do it. And a great job of the Pirate pitching staff to get out of that inning with no runs across. Our score will remain 9-4 as we move to the bottom of the 7th. This is Hellcat Productions. We'll be back in just a moment.
One of the most important things we can do as a community is to ensure that our most vulnerable are protected. The children in the Guardian Ad Litem program are some of the most at risk because they have been removed from an abusive environment. The court will do its best to make sure these children are safe, but with a Guardian Ad Litem volunteer involved, their chances for success are significantly increased. Please consider being a Guardian Ad Litem volunteer and improve the lives of the children in our county. I'm Chip Simmons, and I am for the child.
Can anything be better in this moment?
Whoa, It doesn't get any better than this.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State for half the cost of a university.
Make more money and build a successful career.
Don't let finances or your work schedule hold you back from improving your life.
Pensacola State is in the top 1% of affordable colleges in the nation, with scholarships and financial aid, low-cost tuition, and 6 convenient locations.
Pensacola State gives you access to the life you want right now. See why thousands of students choose Pensacola campus life, programs, and incredible instructors.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State.
Start today at pensacolaState.edu.
All right, we're back for the bottom of the 7th inning, and on the mound, Peyton Knight has gone all the way for the Commodores. Up facing him to lead off the inning, that's Sean Ross, number 22, the center fielder. Pensacola State got out of some big trouble in that last inning. Quickly, the count 0-2 on the batter Ross. He fouls that pitch off for the count to remain. Knight working a lot more quickly on the mound, trying to get in and out as he still leads by 5. That breaking pitch was beautiful, right across the plate for strike 3. Catches the batter Ross looking, and that's going to go for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. Stepping in now will be our replacement player that came in at third base, Jack Kolomovic. Came in when Brewer came to the mound, so he looks at ball 1. And that pitch is low. So count now 2-0 on Kolomovic. Kolomovic, as we said, from Simpsonville, South Carolina. Swung on, and that's driven out to right field with a play right at the warning track. That's Braswell. Bryson Braswell makes the play for out number 2. So 2 quick outs by Knight, and he now will be looking at Brian Eusebio stepping in. And that swung on. That's going to be grounded to Moffitt at short. He throws over to first for out number 3. So quick inning here in the bottom of the 7th. We're headed to the top of the 8th, and we'll bring you all that action here in just a moment. This is Hellcat Productions that you've been watching the ball game today. I'm Steve Jackson. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, top of the 8th inning, we'll have Gulf Coast back in bat. Pensacola State will be down to their last 6 outs, trying to make up that 5-run deficit. Our line score to this point for Gulf Coast State, 9 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors. For Pensacola State, 4 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. And Ryan Brewer came in the last inning to relieve, and he will remain on the mound trying to keep this score where it is. But what a job Peyton Knight has done is he's gone all the way, pitched 7 innings thus far for the Commodores. And leading off here in the top of the 8th inning is going to be Jordan Henshaw. Henshaw out of Huntsville, Alabama. Found his way down to Pensacola to play a little baseball. So Brewer with the wind, swing and swings at the first pitch. This is going to be Brewer taking it by himself. A nice play as all 3 players, Diaz, Lopez, and Brewer, converged pretty close to first base there. But 1 pitch, 1 out, and good job by Brewer to follow through and make that play. And up now will be the designated hitter. It's going to be Alex Lozado. And that pitch going to go outside for ball 1. Behind the plate has been Logan Blackman. And that's swung on and that's driven into the corner of left field. That's going to go for extra bases. And Lozado is going to add to that home run he had earlier with now a double. Nice drive on the fastball that got up a little bit in the zone, and he was able to get the bat around on it and drive it into the corner for a base hit. Gets a 2-bagger. And up now will be Brett Roberson. Roberson getting to play at home, living in Panama City. Pitch by Brewer. Breaking pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1. There's 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Runner down at second. Pitch by Brewer. That breaking pitch is high. So our count will even up at 1-1. Brewer with the pitch from the stretch. And that's driven out to left field, but it's going to be right at the left fielder, Cuthbert, who makes the catch for out number 2. So the runner will remain at second base as Brewer has been able to do his job and hold the Commodores with 9. Outside of that big second inning, this game is pretty even. And unfortunately for Pensacola State, those 6 runs came in on just 1 hit, 3 walks, and a couple of hit batsmen. A few wild pitches. And that's where we stand right now as that pitch is in for strike. As Brewer gets ahead of the hitter. Once again, this is Kyler Holtgren. He's played catcher all day long for the Commodores. Brewer with the pitch, and that's just outside on the all-speed. Count will go to 1-1. Brewer pitching from the stretch. Looks the runner back. Pitch is swung on by Holtgren. That's going to be popped up in shallow left field. And the catch will be made by Cuthbert. And that's going to do it for the top of the 8th inning. We move to the bottom of the 8th. Pensacola State coming in. They're going to have to get some runs, get back in this ball game. They trail by 5, 9-4. This is Hellcat Productions. You're watching this game on. We'll be back in just a moment.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State for half the cost of a university.
Make more money and build a successful career.
Don't let finances or your work schedule hold you back from improving your life.
Pensacola State is in the top 1% of affordable colleges in the nation, with scholarships and financial aid, low-cost tuition, and 6 convenient locations.
Pensacola State gives you access to the life you want right now. See why thousands of students choose Pensacola campus life, programs, and incredible instructors.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State.
Start today at pensacolaState.edu.
We're into the bottom of the 8th inning. Pensacola State down to their last 6 outs, and leading off the inning will be the number 8 hitter, the catcher, Logan Blackman. Blackman's had a good ball game today. Hit the double that got 2 runs in back in the 5th. He was hit by a pitch, and he's gotten 2 other hits. He's had a pretty good day so far. He's going to squib that out toward the shortstop, who bobbles it. Blackman hustling down the line. Moffitt unable to come up cleanly with it, so it's going to go as an E6 for Blackman. And so that's going to be 3 errors. That's the one not so bright spot for the Commodores today. But nonetheless, Pensacola State has their leadoff man on base, still trying to pick up a few runs here. And up now will be the number 9 hitter. That's Owen Cuthbert. He's the left fielder. He squares around a bunt, and he pulls back, but it's still going to go in for strike 1. Trying to move some runners. That pitch is in for a strike. Hit the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Pitch by Knight. That's going to be a little low. Knight gone all the way for Gulf Coast. He has to be topping around 100 pitches right now. That pitch just off the plate. Had a couple of good innings that he got out in minimal pitches, but still he's into the 8th now. Blackman taking the lead at first. Swung on and missed. And that's going to go for strike number 3. That's going to be the 11th strikeout for number 11 out on the mound. That's Peyton Knight. Had an outstanding game pitching today. And now the top of the order will be back up. It'll be Fausto Lopez. Luke Coker on deck. That pitch just off the plate for ball 1. Pitch by Knight. That's going to be driven out in right field. It's going to be right at the right fielder, Braswell, for out number 2. So after getting the leadoff hitter on in Blackman, there's been 2 outs now. And stepping in now will be the shortstop, Luke Coker. He's number 2 and the number 2 hitter. Blackman takes his lead. Swung on. That's going to be hit down toward the second baseman, Wisely, who picks up, throws on to first, and that's going to do it for the bottom of the 8th. We head to the top of the 9th inning. Gulf Coast at bat. This is Hellcat Productions. We'll be back in just a moment with the 9th and the finale of our ball game.
Music has always been a big part of my life, But for many of the children in our community who are victims of abuse and neglect, music is a luxury they can't afford. Did you know that a guardian ad litem volunteer not only advocates for the children in the courtroom, but they also have the resources to help these children lead normal lives? And that means learning to play and enjoy music. When you become a guardian ad litem volunteer, the children whose lives you'll enrich will be forever changed for the better. Call the program and volunteer today. I am Don Snowden, and I'm for the child.
All right, we're back for the top of the ninth. Back in pitching for Pensacola State will be Ryan Brewer, trying to finish this game for Pensacola State, trying to get his team back in as they still trail by 5. Unable to put any runs up in the last 3 innings. What a fabulous job that Peyton Knight has done on the mound for Gulf Coast State. Has 11 strikeouts thus far. And only 3 outs away from leading his team to victory. So Gulf Coast State with their last at bat. They do lead by 5. And leading off for Gulf Coast State will be Braswell. We'll just make sure that there isn't a pinch hitter coming in here. It looks like that is number 6. That will be Braswell. Bryson Braswell, he's been the right fielder. On deck will be Stevie Moffitt, the leadoff hitter. Brewer on the mound. First pitch is in for a strike as Braswell unable to hold up on the swing. Check down to the first base umpire. Gets the called strike. Brewer with the wind and the pitch. And that's swung on. That's hit down toward Lopez at second. Flips over to first for out number 1. And so the leadoff hitter, the shortstop, Stevie Moffitt, will step in. Brewer's done a nice job since he's entered the ball game. And the pitch swung on. That's going to be grounded toward the shortstop, Coker, who comes up with it, throws over to first. That's going to go for out number 2. So Pensacola State defensively doing what they needed to do. Again, outside of that second inning, that was the one that disastrously got them so far behind. And they'll have a lot of ground to make up when they come back in the bottom of the ninth. Up now is Reed Halfacre. Halfacre, the number 2 hitter, takes that for ball 1. That pitch on the outer part of the plate, count now 1-1, evens up. Pitch by Brewer. That's just outside. Count now 2-1. And the pitch swung on and missed by Halfacre. That's going to even things up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the top of the 9th inning. And the Commodores at bat. Swung on, and that's going to be driven out into center field, but it's kind of drifting to the left fielder, and it's going to be Cuthbert Owen Cuthbert that makes the play. So we're through the top of the ninth. We're headed to the bottom. Got to go get them, Pirates. Try to get some runs here in the bottom of the ninth inning as you trail by 5. Our score 9-4. Gulf Coast State, the Commodores, leading the Pirates here in the bottom of the ninth. We'll be back. This is Hellcat Productions in just a moment.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State for half the cost of a university.
Make more money and build a successful career.
Don't let finances or your work schedule hold you back from improving your life.
Pensacola State is in the top 1% of affordable colleges in the nation, with scholarships and financial aid, low-cost tuition, and 6 convenient locations.
Pensacola State gives you access to the life you want right now. See why thousands of students choose Pensacola campus life, programs, and incredible instructors.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State.
Start today at pensacolaState.edu.
Well, we head to the bottom of the ninth inning, and pretty easy to tell you what the story of this game has been. Peyton Knight, big right-handed pitcher from Tatnall County High School up in Glenville, Georgia. What a fabulous game he has pitched today. He's gone all the way, and he comes back for the ninth, having gotten 11 strikeouts today, and he faces Ryan Brewer here to start the bottom of the ninth inning, and they're 3 outs away from finishing this ball game off. Trying to just throw strikes, but he gets behind the hitter, 2-1, but that's going to be grounded over to the shortstop, Moffitt. Long throw and off the mark. And Brewer's going to head into second on the error on the shortstop, Stevie Moffitt. That was a long throw to have to make. And so Brewer's going to end up at second base. But the Commodores have the luxury of a 5-run lead here, and they're just looking to get outs. Up now will be the number 4 hitter, be Angel Diaz. Diaz is the first baseman. Sean Ross on deck. First pitch by Knight is going to be fouled back into the screen by Diaz. Knight pitching from the stretch. The breaking pitch just outside. Count evens at 1-1. Big swing and a miss on the fastball as Knight still bringing it in with pretty good velocity. Count now 1-2. On the batter, Diaz. And that breaking pitch didn't break quick enough there, and so he hits the batter, Diaz. So we'll have runners at first and second. And no outs. And we're going to have a trip to the mound now by Coach Candler. And he is going to go for the reliever. But what a ball game the pitcher Peyton Knight has had, and I know the fans are giving him a hand as he had 11 strikeouts during that stretch. We're going to break here for a moment and get the new pitcher of record. We're going to be back here in just a moment for the bottom of the ninth. This is Hellcat Productions. We'll be right back.
As judges, Ross and I see the value of the Guardian Ad Litem program every day. The Guardian Ad Litem volunteers are advocates in the courtroom for these abused, abandoned, and neglected children. Their concern is for the child's best interest, and we value their opinion when determining a child's future.
As a trained volunteer, you can make a difference, a tremendous difference in a child's life. Please contact the Guardian Ad Litem program and become a voice for a child. I am Ross Goodman.
And I am Marcy Goodman.
And we are for the child.
All right, the new pitcher of record will be number 25. That's Parker Dean. He's thrown in 12 games this year, only has a 1-0 record. He's thrown 16 innings, given up 17 hits, 11 runs, 10 of those earned runs, 7 walks, 15 strikeouts, has an ERA of 5.4, but he's brought in to try to close things out here if he can. He'll be facing the right-handed hitter Sean Ross here as the first batter that he will face. Dean out of Landmark Christian High School, Sharpsburg, Georgia. Another Georgia product on this Gulf Coast team. His pitch in for ball 1 on the batter Ross. On deck will be Kolomovic. Kolomovic came in with that swap when Brewer went in. That's going to be driven deep to center field, but playing it over. But that's going to get past the center fielder, Halfacre. 1 run is going to score. And that's going to make the score now 9-5 on the double by Ross. Halfacre tried to make a play, kind of got turned around a little bit. The breeze has kind of calmed down a little bit, but I don't know if he got affected by the way the sun was shining out there. But Pensacola State trying to get these runners back, get them one at the time, and stepping in now will be Kolomovic. That'll be Jack Kolomovic, freshman out of Simpsonville, South Carolina. That first pitch is in for a strike. As that went for the 9th hit for Pensacola State. That pitch hits the corner on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. Kolomovic didn't agree with that one. Takes a step back, gets himself composed, and steps back in the batter's box. He's got 2 RBI opportunities sitting out at second and third. And the pitch is swung on and missed on the high fastball by Parker Dean. So that goes for out number 1. Pensacola down to its last 2 outs now. Up now will be Brian Eusebio. Eusebio, the right fielder. Right-handed hitter for Pensacola State. Pitch by Dean. That's going to be popped up in the infield. Looks like it's going to be the shortstop, Moffitt, that will make the play for out number 2. So a big out for the Commodores after the run-scoring double with no outs. Dean is able to get the next 2 outs. First on the high strikeout, and now on the pop-out toward the shortstop. So we now have 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 9th, the last opportunity for Pensacola State. And stepping in is Logan Blackman, who had that 2-run double himself back in the bottom of the 5th. That swung on. That's going to be fouled off the left side for strike 1. Again, we'll be back next Friday afternoon. Pensacola State will take on Tallahassee. Pitch by Dean. The 0-1 is low, so that's going to even the count at 1-1. Dean with the wind, And the pitch swung on and missed by Blackman. So the Pirates down to their last strike here in the bottom of the ninth. They still trail by 4. Have 2 RBI opportunity out at second and third. This Blackman has had a really nice day today at the plate. Dean steps back up. He's in the stretch. And the pitch. And swung on, and that's staying alive is Logan Blackman. On deck is Owen Cuthbert, the number 9 hitter. Dean looks in, gets a sign. He steps back off. Now we'll get back on the mound. He's from the stretch. And the pitch by Dean. It's going to be grounded right back up the middle. It's going to be a tough play, and they're not going to be able to do anything with it. As a nice base hit, infield single by Blackman to keep things alive. And that's going to run the score to 9-6 now. And Pensacola State will now have the tying run step up to the plate in the form of Owen Cuthbert. There'll be runners at first and third, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the ninth. And Dean still on the mound. That pitch is in for a strike, hits the outside corner. What a nice hit by Blackman. Blackman picked up his 3rd hit of the ball game. He's had 2 singles to go along with a double. He was also hit by a pitch early in the ball game. So a good job out of the number 8 hole, the Tate High School product from here in Pensacola, Florida. Cuthbert steps back in as he had a little conference with his coach. The 0-1 pitch. And that's going to be low. Evens the count at 1-1. And that's going to hit the corner for strike 2. First baseman playing behind Blackman, pretty much conceding that if he wanted to just head down to second base, he probably would get it, keep the force from happening. But that pitch is just outside, and he is going to move up to second now. So runners now at second and third. Cuthbert with a 2-2 count. There are 2 outs now in the bottom of the ninth. Pensacola trying to stay alive, trailing by 3. The pitch by Dean. And that pitch out of the zone, so the count will now go full. Leadoff batter Lopez on deck. Pitch by Dean. And that's going to be outside and a little high for ball 4, so the bases are going to be loaded. And now stepping up to the plate will be the leadoff batter, and he represents the winning run at the plate. So what seemed to be cruising along to get through this ninth inning, and Gulf Coast is really going to have to work to get this last out in Lopez. pitch by Dean. That's low for ball one. Dean with the stretch. Big swing and a miss by Lopez. That's going to even the count at 1-1. The wind from the stretch. And the pitch by Dean. Swung on, and that's going to be fouled off the left side. So Lopez down to his last strike. Count will be 1-2. 2 outs. The bases are loaded for Pensacola State. Lopez at the plate represents the winning run for Pensacola. Dean trying to get the out for the Commodores. Lopez steps out of the box. Now is back in. Breeze blowing out toward left. Here's the pitch. And that curveball is high for ball 2. So the count now evens up at 2-2. And the pitch by Dean. And that's going to now run the count full. No place to put Lopez. So Dean going to have to come in with the strike or be forced to put him on base. And here's the payoff pitch. And that's going to be fouled off. Staying alive is Lopez as the runners took off with the 3-2 count. The 3-2 pitch and the bases loaded. And the runners running. A ball hit in the gap could score the runner from first. Here's Lopez with the opportunity. And that's going to go for ball 4. And that's going to put another runner across. Our score now 9-7. And we're going to have another pause in the action. And we're going to have another substitution, new pitcher coming in. And we're going to break for just a moment while we get that number. This is Hellcat Productions. We'll be back in just a moment.
Earn a degree you can use at Pensacola State for half the cost of a university.
Make more money and build a successful career.
Don't let finances or your work schedule hold you back from improving your life.
Pensacola State is in the top 1% of affordable colleges in the nation, with scholarships and financial aid, low-cost tuition, and 6 convenient locations.
Pensacola State gives you access to the life you want.
All right, we're back. Our new pitcher is Alex Lozado. Hey, he's had quite a game. He's hit a home run, had a double, and now he's coming in to try to get this last out. And that pitch is in for a strike. Count 0-1. We got 2 outs. We got the bases loaded and the tying run standing out at second base. That pitch just inside. Count's going to even up at 1-1. Have Coker at the plate. He's the shortstop. Swung on, that's going to be foul back. Count will go to 1-2. Lozado trying to get this last out. Get this win for the Commodores. Base hit here with the speed out at second base. A good chance to tie this game up for the Pirates. Pitch swung on and missed. And that's going to go for the strikeout for out number 3. And that's going to do it for us here today. Gulf Coast State College, the Commodores hold on for a 9-7 victory. We'll be back in just a second for the wrap-up. This is Hellcat Productions. We'll be right back.
Never let anyone tell you that there is nothing you can do, that you can't change the world. Every day in our community, there are hundreds of children whose world can be changed by you. That's why I am volunteering to become a guardian ad litem, to become an advocate for these children and be their voice in court, and more importantly, make sure these children have a safe environment where they can grow and thrive. Join me. Contact the Guardian Ad Litem program and help change the world. I am Willie Kirkland Jr., and I am for the child.
All right, we're back. What a finish we had. Pensacola State had a chance to tie this ball game up with a key base hit, but coming in and finishing off the game, that was Alex Lozado, and he had a good game at the plate and got that last out. But the performance of the day had to be Peyton Knight, the pitcher, starting pitcher, went all the way into the 9th inning, was unable to record an out in the 9th, but still pitched 8 wonderful innings for Gulf Coast State with 11 strikeouts. He was able to pretty much control the game, and you know what a game that they were able to have. Not a whole lot of hits put on the board. Actually, Pensacola State got 10 hits with the 7 runs that they got, and still had an opportunity, battled till the end, trailed by as many as 8 runs in this ball game, and the Pirates did an outstanding job to come back. And we will be back with them next Friday when Tallahassee will be in town for another ball game. It'll be a 3 o'clock start. Look forward to having you watch us on Friday. We thank you for joining us today. Our final, Gulf Coast State, the Commodores 9, Pensacola State Pirates 7. We'll be back next Friday. This is Hellcat Productions. I'm Steve Jackson. We'll see you next time.